I grew up in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. I am the oldest of 3 children. It was the Midwest, middle class, sunshine, rainbows, green grass, you don't have to lock the door kind of neighborhood. That was where I grew up in Iowa. I was about to graduate high school, and I heard a radio commercial come on. And I said, come on down, see the recruiter, get a free t-shirt. Who doesn't want a free t-shirt? I'm working at Subway, I want a free t-shirt. Of course I want a t-shirt. So I went down and I talked to the recruiter, and kind of the things that he said started making sense. We're a country at war. This was 2003. We just jumped into Iraq. We've been in Afghanistan since 2001. This is my chance. I can make a difference if this is what I want to do, and I can do it everywhere, but not in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. My great-grandparents came over from Italy in 1904. No one that I know of in my immediate family served in any sort of military. This is my chance to say, the Juntas are going to go serve. I'm going to do it.
Salvatore Giunta enlisted in the U.S. Army in November of 2003. After excelling in basic training and infantry school, he was deployed to Afghanistan in 2005 and again in 2007. The second tour would station him at a remote firebase in the deadly Korengal Valley.
I remember being so excited to go. I wasn't just excited, I was ready. I'm gonna go there and kick in doors and solve this, we'll wrap it up, we'll go home, we'll drink some beers and say, you know what? I served in the United States Army, and I'm proud of that every day. And within 3 months of being in country, an IED took out a truck and killed 4, and the gunner lost both of his legs. These are people in the prime of their life. They will never be stronger than they were that day, to no longer have a tomorrow. That was when I truly felt that I was in the Army. My second deployment was the Korengal Valley. It was like nothing that I had ever seen in Afghanistan before. We were at the bottom of a valley with mountains, just sheer straight up and down on every single side. And every single place you're gonna fight, you are at the bottom. And there's no spot you can choose because you don't get to choose a spot, they get to choose a spot. So Operation Rock Avalanche, we're gonna go to a place we had no idea. Well, we had intel, and intel was lots of bad guys. That's what we came here to do.
Coming in on 5-1.
The first day we got in some contact a couple times each day, usually small arms, RPGs. There were some bad guys and they shot at us, and we dropped some mortars and other things, and apparently there was a lot of people that they deemed innocent that died, and they were not happy. We came to help, but now we pissed off everyone, and we're still, other than our little areas that we've been watching for the last day and a half, we don't know what's outside of this. We left where we were and headed to another village. It's probably only maybe another 3 kilometers. And we set up, we're doing listening posts, we're going in and engaging the villages, saying, hey, what do you need? What would make your lives better, and how? Well, let's talk.
2 Alpha, this is 2 Bravo, radio check over.
I was a team leader, so I have a radio, so I can click over and I can hear what's going on with the other guys. And we started hearing on the radio chaos. Shooting doesn't make chaos. To hear chaos from people who had been doing this was strange. And we started hearing they're missing people, they're missing things, there's KIAs, we have Americans killed, it was bad. We just stayed waiting, listening to a million bad things happen to our brothers a kilometer away. You've never been more ready than you were right there, and we couldn't do anything.
Hey, they took fire from right over here, okay?
They overran a scout team position, they overran a gun team, and the 2nd platoon was going to go into the village, and then we were going to be on one of the side peaks overwatching the village. So if anyone started coming from the outside to come and attack them in the village, we already have the high ground above them. And we sat there 12 hours, 14 hours, just watching and waiting, and nothing happened. The commander said, we're going to pull out, we'll go back. It was probably a 2.5-hour walk, and the sun was down, but the moon was big. And that moon really does make just a huge amount of difference in what you can and can't see. It was Sergeant Brennan, Specialist Eck Road, the squad leader, Staff Sergeant Gallardo, myself, Casey was my saw gunner, and then Clary was my 203 gunner. We went about 200 meters from where we sat. And that was when I've never seen before or since anything like what happened. The tracers come usually 1 tracer, 4 balls. So every time you see one that glows, there was 4 somewhere in between there. And absolutely everything. Every single inch of the air in front of us, behind us, was filled with tracers. Thousands of bullets in the air, going both ways at this point. I think within the first 5 seconds, I think pretty much everyone had been shot somewhere. Casey and Clary were behind me, and Casey had the M249 squad automatic weapon, the SAW, and so it can shoot about 1,000 bullets per minute. And Clary was shooting his 203, which shoots a 40 millimeter grenade. But the guys were so close, the grenade, he was just making a lot of booms, but it wasn't on them, but he was doing exactly that. That was a good thing for him to be doing. And so I looked towards my leader, Sergeant Gallardo. I saw Gallardo coming back, and I just saw his head twitch. And it wasn't like, what was that twitch? It was like something just hit his head twitch, and he dropped. So I just ran out, and I grabbed him. He was kind of flipped over on his back, but he was okay. So I kind of grabbed him, was pulling him, and he was jumping up, and we got back, and I went to a little bit of deflate. It probably gave us maybe 6 to 8 inches of relief in the ground. And we were both there, and when that happened, I got hit. Gallardo's here, and I'm here, and they're shooting at us from here, and I just got hit over here, which the people over here can't shoot over here. That is a very serious thing to figure out incredibly quick, why that bullet came from over here. They set up in an L shape, which if we were to do it, we would do it exactly like that. We were trained from day 1 in basic training. It is a battle drill that a near ambush. What do you do if a near ambush happens? Well, you charge the line. You're gonna win or lose on that, but you're gonna win or lose staying where you're at, and if you stay where you're at, you're probably gonna lose. We threw grenades, and we ran forward. Eckroyd was on the ground and said he'd been shot. Brennan said he was shot as well, and he's somewhere up ahead. I can hear this as I'm running, and Gallardo went for Eckroyd. And Gallardo's the man. I trust Gallardo. There was no more grenades, and I was already running forward, so it was pointless to stop. And Gallardo had Eckroyd, and Casey and Claire were doing everything they could, and they were keeping their heads down. And when I ran up, and I couldn't find Brennan where he should have been. This part haunts my dreams. I came out, and there was 2 guys carrying one. It's crazy. I don't know how anyone else got up here before me. I mean, this all happened like this. As I got a little bit closer, I realized what was going on. I deployed with Brennan before. The year before, we were in Afghanistan for a year, so I'd been with Brennan for maybe 4 years. He's smarter than me, stronger than me. He's smaller than me too, but he's faster than me. He's a better shot than me. And that's who's getting carried away.
Giunta immediately charged through the persistent enemy fire toward the 2 insurgents carrying Joshua Brennan. He killed one and wounded the other, then carried Brennan to a position of relative safety until medevac helicopters could arrive.
In action on 25 October 2007 during support of Operation Enduring Freedom. His unwavering courage, aggressive...
You don't find out if you did the right thing or wrong thing until later. And sometimes, maybe if you did the wrong thing, maybe you don't ever find out. Gallardo, my squad leader, came up. He said, I was talking to Captain Kearney, and he said, you're gonna get put in for a Medal of Honor. I said a lot of things, none of which were very happy or should be told now. Mendoza had died, and Brennan had died. The other guys were going to be okay. They were all in surgery or getting the bullets out. You're going to congratulate me. You're going to pat me on the back and say thanks. Stupid. The day at the White House, when the president put it around my neck, in the front row I had my family. I had my wife and my mom and dad and brother and sister. And in the second row I had some aunts and uncles. But the row behind my family was Brennan's family. And next to them was Mendoza's family. And as I felt this light silk ribbon go around my neck, I felt the weight of the sacrifices of those two men, and the sacrifices of several of the people in that audience. No one did anything special. Every single one of us were fighting for our absolute life. If I didn't do that, what was my other option? I get congratulated and patted on the back, and everyone thinks I'm such a great guy when there's people that will never get a congratulations, a thank you, or you're the man ever again, or see their family, their mother, their father, their children, and yet you're gonna congratulate me. I'm the keeper of it. It stays at my house at night, put it around my neck when I need to. But this is not mine. This is not for me. This represents so much more. This represents not just my boys, not just Brennan, not just Mendoza, not Rugal, who died the day before, not all the guys who have been wounded, not all the people who have suffered, not the families that will pay the price for this country. It's not for any one of those people. It's for all of those people. And if I gotta do it, I'm gonna do it for them. And there's nothing they wouldn't do for me, so how could I not do this for them?